Now we're down here in the Mac and GHD Buyers Lounge with Fiona Hawtin, editor of Runway Reporter and FQ. How are you doing?
Oh, busy. Fantastic so far, yeah.
Now we're going to talk about pretty much every day about the favourite shows of what we've seen so far. So let's start off. First show of the morning, World. What did you think?
It was great to see them have a comeback after a 3 or 4 year absence, and I think they've probably during that time really grown up, and not so much about the real full-on theatrics, but just about giving people a really amazing experience. And those Swarovski crystal showstoppers were phenomenal at the end.
$30,000 suit. Did you know that?
I did. That was amazing. It was like just a room full of disco balls. It was blinding. It was brilliant, and it was what we've come to expect from World.
And then Francis sat and put every single one of the, except for the suit, he did everything else by himself, like beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, no, they sent that one to Austria or something, didn't they? And then the other ones, Francis and Denise for like 3 months were gluing them on by hand. That's dedication for you. It was amazing.
And now then we had another big one yesterday was Carolee Johnson, first ever Australian. What's your opinion on Australians showing it in New Zealand Fashion Week? Is it fine? Good?
Look, I think it's fine. It's great. I mean, we go over there, so why don't they, come over here? And it's good because there is kind of a point of difference with Australian designers. I mean, they're kind of more body conscious. We've got that sort of dark, gothic, more intellectual reputation. So it's actually really good to see, the trend being reversed a little bit. Yeah.
It was actually very different to what we ever see on the catwalk here. I thought, I was like, well, a lot of people will be kind of fine to get their heads around it because it's a totally different look.
Yeah, although the thing is, I mean, there are probably designers that are a lot more body conscious, like Wayne Cooper and Scanlon and Theodore. They would have come over here and they would have been very much like a fish out of water, which wouldn't have been a bad thing. But I think Carolee Johnson's probably going to actually work very well for the New Zealand, consumer, because it's kind of a little bit brighter, I guess, than what we're seeing the New Zealand designers do, but very wearable. Yeah. And so I think it'll do very well here.
Yeah, I loved her shoes. I really hope people buy the shoes here. I want those like thigh-high, flat, brown boots.
They were amazing. Yeah, they were amazing.
So who else did we get? Stitch Ministry, little sort of return to the catwalk for Kylie Davis, right? Because she used to do an insidious fix for the people out there. Did you like her new take on a new label?
Look, I really like to see New Zealand designers doing knitwear. She's always done really good knitwear really well, and it was good to see, like, she did obviously have some beautiful wearable pieces, like those quite fine merino knits were fantastic, and I can see a lot of people putting those into their wardrobes for winter. But it was kind of, I think probably, it was a little bit sort of, the styling kind of let it down. It was interesting, I guess, the pigment hands and the sort of the red Indian kind of high waffle take, but it kind of detracted a little bit from the core message of the knitwear, which was a shame.
I kept on looking at the big headbands, and like a feather would fall out of the hair and I'd look at the feather on the ground. Yeah.
I mean, my son, he's 3, he would have loved that high waffle thing, but I mean, it kind of got in the way of seeing the real clothes, which was a bit of a shame.
Well, sometimes I was reading that thing in the Herald today, and it was like Karen Walker's lesson she's learned from Fashion Week. She's like, don't put anything in there that's going to detract away, because people look at it and then they forget what they've seen. Because I can't really remember that many clothes, so I totally get what you mean. And also, it would have been a bit bittersweet with her after the past troubles that they've had.
Yes.
Now, Sibel, who won the Export Award, loving it as much as last year?
I loved it more, actually. I think she's really stepped up. I mean, normally she does a couple of beautiful prints, and she's got those lovely signature panel dresses that were there, but she really stepped it up, and there were so many pieces that I personally wanted to buy, whereas normally I sort of think, oh, okay, I kind of like that, maybe one or two pieces, but I want just about all of it. It was amazing. It looked fantastic on the runway. There was just everything going on. There was the colour, there was her beautiful construction. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. That's the thing, like, often you like shows, but you're not like, I actually want that. And when you really, really want to wear something, you know that it's totally hitting the right market, and the fact that it's directional, but it's also wearable, which is so important. I mean, we're not a huge, like, we don't have couture shows and everything, really. It's all mostly ready to wear, so it does need to be consumable.
And it was a good example of, like, somebody doing a theme but actually doing it really well, like not sort of there was that kind of avian theme, so there was like some of the prints obviously were bird influence, and then there was the nod, and the shoes, and then there was the lovely nod with the feathers on the eyes, and that was amazing. That was enough. She didn't go too far.
Exactly. It's not like having a bird on someone's head.
It was perfect. It was really beautiful.
Okay, and then Juliet Hogan. I personally loved Juliet Hogan.
I loved Juliet Hogan actually because look, I'm actually, I'm a big Juliet Hogan fan. I like a nice dress and a nice cardi, and that's what she does very well. Although I guess in the past people have always sort of consigned her to being a sort of a little bit nana, which is fine. It's very commercial, but I think she really stepped it up yesterday. Those couple of maxi dresses were amazing.
I said that she has to be the maxi dress queens now. And also I think the styling, like that, the lace dress with the rose gold through the print, and then they just had the bodysuit under it. I'm like, that's so simple, but it's a clever way to put on the catwalk rather than a slip that really made it a bit sexier and cool. And I think that she is growing designing, and all the jackets she does now.
And just her detailing, I think that's what it made it really really interesting. I absolutely loved her show. I think she did really well, and the carpet as well. It was just little simple nods to sort of Nana without
without
going too far.
I think that opening the store has really helped to grow, like realise what the consumer and the market wants. Like I remember talking, she's like, I've learned that people don't like their knees, they don't like their shoulders. We can do still summery dresses, but with a tiny cap sleeve.
I'm kind of all for that because there are certain parts of my body that I don't like to show. So if I can get something that's got a sleeve on it, I'm there.
You're there, exactly.
She must be amazing too because she's just had her first birthday party. She made all the cupcakes, didn't she?
Yeah. Oh God, they're so
Domestic
good.
goddess.
She always makes cupcakes, and she puts them perfectly on those little cupcake holders that like make it look like a big cake.
Brilliant.
Oh, I know, I love it. Sarah Lilly.
Now, Sarah Lilly, I unfortunately was working, so I didn't get to see that, which was a real shame. But I understand that she did some, what she does very well. She's really like the dress queen, and she's did a variety of dresses that are probably going to be very commercial and very wearable for a lot of people. Yeah. I did like what I saw. I did like all the feathers. The flowers in the hair. I thought they looked amazing.
Yeah, do you know, I was talking to her about that afterwards, and she said they're all from. She bought their stockings with holes in them, old stockings of hers, where she got the flowers from the $2 shop and hot glue gunned them on. It's so her. She's like, they're just from the $2 shop, Anna. I'm like, no.
They looked amazing in the pics. They showed up really well, and that's just. I think that's a really clever way to sort of like give your show a little bit of something extra. Yeah.
And I think that she also didn't do like last year was really hers was actually quite Nana last year, and that was like it didn't even almost work for the consumers up. This year it's totally like party frocks, and then they did the tulle under them for the show. It worked well, and I remember actually Zara from No Magazine said it was her favourite show of the day. So that's kind of like a very different thing. No Magazine, Sarah Lilly wouldn't have thought that they would go well, but apparently so. So who else did we have after Sarah Lilly? We had Hailwood.
Yeah, Hailwood. I think the styling was amazing because Rachel Morton, our fashion director, did it, so I can't say anything else.
No.
I think he did a really he's really progressed on. I mean, when he started out, he was all about like the script, he was an graphic artist, so he was all about the screen printed t-shirt. He's really grown. I think there was a really cohesive collection that he showed last night. There was some lovely dresses, some, his classic sort of signature denim pieces thrown in there. He's really growing up. It's really happening for him.
Yeah. And this morning, Jayha, did you go? Yes, you were there.
I went to Jayha. I went to the Temple of Jayha and Underbush. It was amazing. I mean,
lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I think so. Although it was actually really hard because I guess last year we didn't know anything about him, and he just blew everyone away. I guess there was a huge expectation on him this year to do something even more amazing, and I think he had some great ideas. I mean, there were aspects of it that I really loved. I think the styling was good, and I loved the tie-dye. There were real pieces that I really, really enjoyed. But I think probably it suffered a little bit just by the fact that probably his samples weren't quite as well made as what they were last year.
Oh, really? So you've got these. This is why we're talking to you. You always see these girls pick out the little things that I wouldn't see. And also I thought that it was a good idea that he brought in the menswear because he's never done that before.
Yeah, although I kind of think, if you're just sort of starting out, maybe just sort of, cement the woman's wear to start with and then sort of maybe go into menswear because it's a lot to take on for a young designer just starting out.
It was 40 outfits and that's a big show. I mean, it was 20 minutes long and it was long also because of the 3 different catwalks.
Yeah.
I almost saw a couple of girls trip on those long dresses.
I know. Those heels looked dangerous. They were huge. I mean, I was petrified because one of them nearly fell into our lap. So she made a really good comeback. They were pros, those girls.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I also really liked with the menswear. There was that little fake fox was fun. I thought that was brilliant. A apparently that was sort of an iconic, ironic take on
your mother's fox stole. Yeah,
that made me laugh. I thought that was brilliant. I like those little injections of quirkiness without being pretentious. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
Loved
I tried to figure it out for ages. I was like, what is it? Is it a lizard? Is it a snake? Because all those little red things. And I spoke to him, he's like, no, it's like just, when you're little, you remember your mum's fox stole and it was like this massive thing, and it's sort of like you go up and you realise it's small, but been comedic about it.
That was a lovely touch. Really good touch.
Well, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us, Fiona, and we will see you throughout the week.
Lovely. Thank you.